Right on. So, welcome everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Clarence Swain. Everybody just calls me Swain, and this is a Zoom training just um, to help maximize Zoom. And this is everything that I've learned from using it. I am in grad school for educational technology at Loyola. Um, University of Maryland, and I've been there for the last 2 years, and we've used Zoom. That's our community. It's our online program, and so that's when I was first introduced to Zoom was 2 years ago, and since then, of course, with COVID, I got even more used to using it because on that side I was a participant, so I knew how the participant side is used. Just recently in July, I finished a course um, on how to give good professional developments. And so I learned even more about Zoom, and that's where I actually put together this presentation. So I just want to be able to help spread the knowledge on all these things because the only way we're going to get our content over to these kids this year is if we know how to use the technology. So hopefully, what I show you today will be very useful. Um, we're gonna hop right in. So distance learning with Zoom. So normally when you join, this is what your screen starts as, and I just want to make sure people, once we're done, you're going to see all the same settings I have at the bottom. A lot of y'all might not see the settings. Probably the breakout room might be the one that you might not see when you start, but um, when we're done, and I actually don't have one setting that's not on there right now. It will be um, is the poll setting. So this is just your normal face of what Zoom looks like. I saw something pop in the chat. You don't see profiles. Oh yeah. Okay. So once I get to the Zoom settings, I definitely will explain on everything that's at the bottom and my reasoning for some things we'll use. So the first thing I want to talk about, because all of us are going to use it, I'm using it right now, is screen share. All right, so screen share. Now, if you're like me, you may have multiple different applications open on your computer. You may have multiple windows of one browser open. When I screenshotted this, I had three windows open. I had on Google Chrome, I had Safari open, so two different browsers. I had my Spotify open, which I normally have, and also I was looking at the Math 8 curriculum. So when I ask to share my screen, it looks at all those multiple things that are open because it wants to know what you want to jump to. All right, and then there's always desktop one or two, depending on how you have your computer set up. Um, and it literally will just share exactly what you're looking at. So then there's whiteboard, there's iPhone, iPad via AirPlay, and there's iPhone or iPad via cable. And the difference between these two, when it says AirPlay, that means if you have an iPad, you can share the screen through Zoom using Wi-Fi. I mean, not Wi-Fi, using Bluetooth. That's what it means when it says AirPlay. You can also use it with your phone if you, for some reason, wanted to share something from your phone to the screen. You can also use it with your phone. But you also can just plug in the USB, like you charging your iPad or your iPhone. You can plug that up to the computer, and you'll be able to share directly through plugging up the cable from the computer to your phone. And I'm going to demonstrate the iPad through Bluetooth a little later. Um, Now, the whiteboard app that allows you to have a whiteboard to write on and also allow your students to write on. So when I do the whiteboard app, it just jumped around, right? So this is what that looks like. And as a teacher, I have the ability to write on it. Um, I also have the ability to put text, but the other cool part, as long as you have it, as long as you have it on, you have the ability to allow people to write on your board. So if I ask the question, 2 plus 2 equals, all right, and I say, all right, class, what does 2 plus 2 equal? In your, at the top of your screen where your settings are, you will be able to click the button more and you will see annotate. When you click annotate, you'll be able to write. So somebody found annotate and they're writing on the screen now. So
I'm in Zoom.
say it again.
Yeah, I don't have those settings.
No, it's fine. I will you I have a screenshot of how to get to it so that you'll be able to see, because you can't see my settings. You can see me moving my cursor, but
Yeah.
you can't see my actual settings. But that's why I screenshotted everything,
Okay.
so that it'll show up in the presentation, right? And so, okay, now this can get overwhelming, and it's like, whoa, everybody is annotating. So, what you can do as the person in control, I just disabled it. So now nobody can write on it anymore. And then I have the ability to clear all their drawings. My drawing is still there, all theirs are gone. And now
How
that,
did you disable it?
hold on, so missed out. If you have questions, just so that we can continue through the whole thing, I'm just asking, put it in the chat. Miss Riley is going to be the chat monitor, and I'm going to, I have screenshots of everything so that you'll be able to see exactly what I typed as well. I'm just speaking it right now as I'm showing you, but I do have screenshots. I just wanted to show kind of how the whiteboard works. Um, so again, I'm gonna show in the settings, and I'm gonna show you where you would find that. So let me hop back to the presentation. One second. All right. So one thing I will say, it just happened to me. If you're sharing your screen like I am, and you remember I had this presentation, it was big, but then I jumped away from it. Before you can start sharing that presentation again, you have to make sure you have left full screen. Like, so this is full screen and you can see it now. But remember, I left this presentation and went to the whiteboard. So before I was able to go back and show this presentation again, I have to make sure I leave full screen, and then I can go back to it. Oh, Mr. Thomas, you found it? Good, good, good. And okay, so missed out. When you're the host, the same place that you go where it says view options, when you're the host, it's just going to say more. And you're going to click on that. And inside of that, in that area, it says disable attendee annotations. And that's literally how you disable them. Now, you also can just turn the setting off. If you never want them to be able to write on the screen, you can just turn the setting off from the beginning, and they won't ever be able to write on the screen. But I will show you in the settings how you turn it on and turn it off. Mr. Gardner, the whiteboard, again, is also a setting that you just turn on. And when you're sharing your screen, so when you click share screen, this is what pops up. Whiteboard will pop up. If you don't have the setting on to share a whiteboard, then it won't ever pop up. But that will be something that you'll see when we go through the settings part of Zoom. You'll see, okay, I just needed to click whiteboard on. Yeah, so that's what I was doing with the whiteboard. Miss Allen, I don't know if you were on yet, but when I just shared my whiteboard, people were able to write onto the whiteboard. Yeah. All right.
And it wasn't difficult?
What so I mean, that's how that well that's classroom management of the sense of making sure only one kid does it. But Ms. Holmes, what I told him as well is you have the right to disable annotations in the middle of a meeting. So if one kid or two kids mess it up, you can let the class know, hey, I'm sorry, I wanted y'all to be able to write on it, but people are playing around, so now I got to turn it off, and we can try again tomorrow. And that kind of gets them to.
That's when you allow them to annotate, right? But I thought you were talking about the whiteboard feature itself.
Yeah, we were talking about like if you wanted to write on it or not. No, I am gonna definitely allow people. I was trying to. At one point I'm gonna try to allow people to do a little bit more hands on. Definitely drawing on a whiteboard with your mouse is not the
Yeah, it's hard.
It's not the easiest thing. You have text as well, and I also am going to show them how to use their iPhone or iPad if they wanted to write on that.
Okay.
And Miss Brown or Dr. Brown, no, you can't approve before it pops up. So I know that's always one of those, risk of what if they write some inappropriate. But I mean, in all honesty, and it's definitely one of those things you just. It's two things behind it. One, you don't know who wrote it. That's what I think makes it a little bit harder. Because like if we're in school, a kid always could just walk up on the board when you tell them to do something, and they could write something inappropriate. But you know exactly who that kid is. When it comes to the annotate with Zoom, we don't know who wrote what. So that's definitely a problem that can arise. And so that's the only hiccup I would say. Thank you, Riley. All right, two big parts of when you click share your screen. You want to share the computer sound. That button does not always stay clicked on. You need to make sure it's on before you start sharing your screen. All right, and I also use optimized share screen for video clips if you're going to be using YouTube or something like that. Those two won't start when you go to share your screen. They won't start clicked on, but you need to make sure that you click them on. All right, that's when sometimes if you're on Zoom and you might can't hear or something like that, they haven't clicked those. So what you're actually hearing is their speaker from their computer, and their microphone is trying to pick up the sound from their speaker. Versus when you share the computer sound, now your computer hears what their computer hears, if that makes sense. All right. And I've talked about that, but I can take this opportunity to show people if they have an iPad. And it does not have to be PGCPS. It can be your personal iPad. It can be, again, your cell phone if you want it to. So the via AirPlay and the via cable. So again, the cable one is simple. Most of us understand. That's when you have your charging cord, your charging cable. You plug it up to the computer, and you also plug it up to your iPhone or iPad device, and that's how you'll be able to share the screen from there. For AirPlay, I'm gonna stop sharing so I can show you all what I'm gonna have to do. For AirPlay, all right. So I have this iPad. When I swipe down, there's a button for screen mirroring. All right, and that's what you're gonna have to click into. Now, right now, there's nothing there. But when I go to actually share my screen, and I click that via AirPlay, it's going to pop up. It's going to tell me, and it tells you the instructions to do it again. And now, when I go in there, hopefully it plays right with me today. When I go in there, right now it's not popping up, of course. But I would see Zoom, TDC, and all those numbers behind, and I will have the opportunity to click it, and then I will be able to share. I think actually it's not going to work with me because I don't have my iPad updated. So that's one big thing you'll learn about Zoom and everything else is you got to have everything updated, like all your devices. And I know my iPad has been asking me to update for a while, so I know it's not updated, and that's why it's making me look foolish right now. But if you do have if you have a Mac and you got a dongle, you just plug it in, and that way you don't got to worry about none of the Wi-Fi or anything. I don't have my dongle with me. If you have a Dell, you already have your USB plug in, and you just put the charger cord in, and it goes right over. Now, reasons you might want to use your iPad, you can use whiteboards on iPad, and they're a little. To me, it's easier to write on a whiteboard on an iPad than it is on my MacBook because it's touchscreen, so it's a little bit easier to write with my finger than it is to write with a mouse. Or you might, I don't know, have some.
I use that Show Me app.
Yeah, and so there's an app called Show Me. That's another PD that is actually based on iPads, so you can't get it on your computer. You can watch videos from it on your computer, but like to actually do things with the whiteboard, you only can do it from an iPad. And like so, there are certain apps that you can only do on an iPad, and that might be why you want to show your screen from an iPad. One of my 8th grade students just popped up. I guess their sibling is.
I don't know
Stay focused.
if you answered this question or not, but how do I connect my iPad to my Chromebook?
So you should have a USB plug-in on your Chromebook, and in there you'll just put the charging cord, like how you charge your iPad, that cable. You will plug it right up to your computer and plug it right up to your iPad.
Okay, so I just need the right kind of USB to connect to both ends.
Yes. Yeah, and for that instance, you would use where it says iPhone or iPad via cable,
Okay.
and that's why it even shows like the little charging cord.
Is there one way to do it that you can do it using Bluetooth or anything?
Yeah, so that's the via AirPlay. Now, I'm not completely sure if you can actually do that if it's not a MacBook. I don't think you will be able to share via AirPlay if it's not a MacBook.
I have a MacBook Pro.
So if you're doing it with a MacBook, that's what I was showing about. You would click the screen mirroring, and I can review that a little bit at the end again if anybody else needs me to review that again.
I'll wait till the end. I'm sorry I came a few minutes late.
No problem. And Ms. Johnson, so what we're doing to try to keep everything rolling smooth is if you have a question, just put it in the chat. Ms. Riley is answering everything pretty well right now.
Thank you.
No problem.
I interrupt you for 2 questions.
Go ahead, Riley.
One of them you already answered. So you said that kids, you can't see who wrote it with the whiteboard, but
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson asked that if he has a stylus, can he use it on his laptop screen on the whiteboard?
It just depends on if your screen is a touchscreen or not. So like my Mac is not a touchscreen, so it doesn't matter. You're gonna have to use the mouse or you're gonna have to type. But like that's why if you do have the availability of an iPad, it's helpful because if you use a whiteboard on your iPad, then you can obviously write on there with your stylus and everything. But it just depends on the computer. I think like some people, like Ms. Holmes, she has a Dell that's touchscreen, but I know everybody's Dell not touchscreen. It just depends on your computer. Was there anything else, Riley?
No, that was it for now. Everything else you answered it while you were talking.
All right, perfect. So I actually got ahead of myself in my presentation a little bit. We talked about whiteboards. We saw that. All right, now security. That is going to be your best friend, like the most important part. All right. Couple things. And I don't know what I don't know if this is something to talk about with admin because I don't know if they're going to want to do this or look at doing this or not. But we have times when I'm sure they probably won't ever want to do it because even if a kid is late, we want the kid to join. But you have the availability to lock a meeting, right? So say class has been going on for 10, 15 minutes already. Well, you can click that lock meeting button, and even if they have your link, they will not be able to join. All right. Um, Now they put that there, because kids were bombing Zooms and things like that. So if you got all the kids that are supposed to be in your class in there, then you can lock the meeting because obviously nobody else should be joining. You know what I mean? But you don't have to. You also have the ability inside of a meeting to turn off the waiting room. You can have it on. That's why it's checked for enable waiting room. I didn't have it on for this meeting, but you also have the ability to turn it off. If you're in the middle of the meeting and you can't, you're in the middle of class and you can't stop, you might want to have that clicked off. But I mean, again, obviously, the fear factor for a lot of people were like the Zoom bombing and things like that of kids joining who shouldn't be joining and everything. So that's why keeping that waiting room on is important, because even if somebody joins in the middle of a lesson, then obviously they were late anyway. They can sit and wait for a few moments until you get an opportunity to actually check and see who it is. Allow participants to screen share, right? So it's marked off. I keep that tab as available for me to be able to use, because there may be a time in class where I want the students to share their presentation or something. And so I want them to be able to have that opportunity to do it. But I have the right to have it off during my class. Chat, I can have the chat on at one point, and I can turn the chat off at another. So if when I'm presenting and I don't want any questions at that point, I can turn it off, right? That way they can't talk to each other, and there's nothing being said. But then there may be a moment where I want them to fill up the chat, I turn it back on. When annotating starts, when you have that setting on, annotate will be in there. Allow participants to annotate. That'll be in there. You'll easily just be able to click the chat, and then it'll allow them to, or you can click it and it will turn it off. So they put that security there. It was not, if you remember, it was not originally in Zoom when we started using them. Zoom put it in there to help the hosts not have to try to find all these different areas to figure out how to turn things on and off. The key things that you want on and off will be right there for you to be able to turn on and off inside of your security. All right, now, the big one, breakout rooms, right? So a lot of questions about breakout rooms, how to use them, how do they work. So at the bottom of your screen or top, wherever you have your settings, because you can actually shift your settings from top to bottom. When you first go in and click breakout rooms, this is what automatically populates. All right. Now, what Zoom does, they want to make rooms that are no larger than, I believe, 6. So depending on how many people are, like, you can make unlimited breakout rooms, but they want them to only have like 5 to 6 people. And so I had 0 participants, so obviously they said 1 room when I took the screenshot. But now I think it's like 30-something, 40 people on, so it's going to automatically start at 9 rooms. So that way it's about 5 people to a room. And it will tell you down here at the bottom automatically how many people per room. All right, so, and you still, even let's say you wanted 10 people in a room, well, you get to change. And as you change this room number, this participants per room will automatically change for you. So it's not like you sitting there actually trying to do the math. It does the math for you. If you want less people, if you only want it to be partners, you click the rooms up. And this will continue to go down until it says 1 to 2 or just 2 people per room. It does the work and the math for you. Now, once you created it, they don't automatically just jump in. And I see the chat jump in. Riley, is there anything that you can't answer that you need me to answer?
Just one question. The rest of the stuff was about something else. It just says, is it unlimited?
Yes, from what I mean, I haven't, and again, I don't believe where any of us are going to have this problem. One, PGCPS only lets you have 300 people in a Zoom anyway, but we're not going to have 300 people in one Zoom. So, most of us at average aren't going to have more than 40 to 45. I know all my classes are like 38, 39. So you're definitely fine with that. We had 109 people I was putting in breakout rooms last week. and I might have to. What I probably need to do now, because when I did it, I didn't have anybody in my groups. I need to screenshot what it looks like with actual people, so because it's gonna be more helpful. But what I want to do before I do that is talk to you about these settings. So the breakout rooms, they pop up, and it's gonna be people names. I'm gonna take a screenshot of what it looks like with actual names in there, so that I can explain that. But this option button down at the bottom is important. And this is what it looks like. You have the availability to move all the participants into the breakout rooms automatically. You always want to keep that checked, because once you click open rooms down here, how it says open rooms, once you click that open rooms button, just like last week, it just moved y'all. That's what you want to happen. And then allow participants to return to the main session. So I turn that off. It starts on. But if I make breakout rooms, I don't want them returning to the main session, because then they're kicked out. You got to figure out how to put them back in. So I turn that off. I want them to have to stay in their breakout room until it's over. You can choose how many minutes you want them to be in the breakout room, right? So the smallest, you can't put seconds. The lowest you can do is 1 minute. Versus like last week, I don't know if you noticed it, but like the bigger breakout room was 15 minutes. They put a little timer on the participants' screen so that you can see what 15 minutes looks like, and it will let you know as the host when 15 minutes are up. It'll ask you, do you want to continue or do you want to close these breakout rooms? And when you close them, they got 60 seconds to finish up. But that's because I allowed it to be 60. You can turn it down if you wanted to and make it 30 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. All right. I definitely see the chat going. So anything, Riley?
Some of it was just about what you already said, where it's showing where you can assign the amount of breakout rooms. I think Mr. Doulahan just missed it.
Okay.
And Mr. Van Gore, I need him to clarify his question. He asked how to share the video and voice. I don't know what he means by that.
Like going back to sharing screens?
I guess. Mr. Van Gore, can you unmute yourself and kind of clarify your question, because I don't really understand.
And what I'll say while he's figuring it out, y'all keep hearing me say I see the chat jumping. I don't have my actual chat up, but when you're the host, your settings where all your like mute, stop video, share screen, where that is, mine disappears and comes back as things happen. So every time a new chat pops, my screen pops down and it shows me another number in the chat. So because I haven't checked it, right now I have 24 things in the chat. That's 24 messages that happen. So I don't have the chat open. I'm looking exactly like how y'all are looking at this presentation. That's what I see. But I keep getting a little pop down and another number comes in. So that's why I know the chat is moving. So right now there hasn't been anything in the chat. There's no bump down. But if somebody was to put something in, I would see something. So somebody did just put something in and I got another notification for it. All right. So that's what I mean. That's another cool little feature as a host you will notice, especially when you're sharing your screen. So what I want to do now, I'm gonna stop sharing because I'm gonna create these breakout rooms so that y'all can actually see. So I'm gonna screenshot a few things and then I'm gonna pull up what those screenshots look like. Thank y'all for bearing with me. One more thing. Because I want to make sure y'all get everything.
Swain, after we go into the breakout rooms, can you show how you would do it to put specific students in specific rooms?
Yep, that's what I had to do so many screenshots. So
Okay.
let me go ahead and open one of them. I'm gonna jump to the first one's right here. All right, wait a second. It's right here. Sure. All right, so all y'all see is the breakout room, right? So this is so Riley, is that right? Y'all can just see this picture. Riley.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
we see you.
All right.
My bad.
No, it's fine because on my side it's a small picture, so I can see other things on my background. I just wanted to make sure. I figured y'all can only see it because it has a green box around the picture. But all right, so there are 42 people in. So again, I told y'all like Zoom tries to make it where it's like 5 or 6. They like even numbers, so if they can split it up perfectly, they will. So that's why they chose 6, and they automatically started with 7 rooms, right? So that's literally all I did was click the button breakout. So then, let me see, how do I believe I can. So then, again, I told you can jump up. So I said if I only want 2 to 3 people, I go up to 15 rooms. And then I didn't do any math, but as I pressed the button up, it started with 7. But as I pressed the rooms up, it started telling me, okay, this amount of people would be in each room, right? So now what does it look like when you actually open it up? So when you actually open it, this is what it looks like. It gives you the names of everybody, and it gives you the room they're in. Now, made sure I highlighted this. You can exchange, meaning you can just trade somebody. Like, so if you had these rooms and you were just looking as a teacher and you're like, oh, I don't want that student in there with them, you can literally just click exchange and you would choose somebody from another breakout room and they will flip-flop, right? So this comes in handy now when you and your co-teacher are both working in your class and y'all about to do breakouts. Well, one of y'all are building the breakout room and you have the ability, like it might have came out perfectly except for one kid. The other thing is move, right? So that's just literally, I want Miss Belloni to get moved to another room. So I click move and it'll ask you which room did you want her to get moved to, which breakout room, and it'll just move her. So then at that point, your rooms won't be even anymore.
Swain, can you preset the rooms?
So
Like, could you make groups and they stay the same, or?
So the thing about it is, right, you can make preset breakout rooms before you actually start a Zoom. But you have to have everybody's email, and it has to be the email that they join the Zoom with. So now, if somebody joins Zoom and they don't log in with PGCPS first, and they just join off their phone, then it's going to mess up your list a little bit. Like, they're not going to be where you want them to be. But what you can do, especially because the breakout rooms are more pushed for co-teachers, one of the teachers, as soon as class starts, can start building the breakout room. Once you do it once, it's set for the rest of the class. Now, it's not set forever, but it's set for the rest of that class. So you are going to have to move them like once a class. But a lot of times, once we start learning our kids and we learn their names, it becomes faster and faster to be able to switch them. Another big part of that is that helped me last week is you can change the name of the breakout room. So it doesn't have to be breakout room 1. So when you put your cursor over top of where it says breakout room 1, this is what shows up. And I'm going to share it. That's what shows up. It asks you, do you want to rename it? And when you click rename, you can change it to whatever you want it to be. So I don't know, last week I did it after they were talking about like team excellence. the next time we went in breakout rooms, I don't know if anybody noticed, I turned everybody's name to like great, excellent, super, or whatever. So it was no longer breakout room 1, 2, 3. It was whatever I renamed it. And I did that just because, you know, I was playing around. But if I was in the classroom, um, and I created these groups out of my kids, and I always do the same breakout rooms, and I told them give me a name. If I rename their name now when I'm splitting them up, it's so much easier. It's like, oh, Jesse's in super group and Taylor's in whatever group, whatever, you know what I mean? So it just helps with building that I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but making it easier on yourself. Was there one more thing? Oh,
No,
so
can you show us how to go in the room? Like, I mean, I'm sorry. How do teachers go in and out of rooms? And can you show us that live? Is that possible?
um, it is, and I can't show you literally me doing it, but what I can do is when I can put y'all in breakout rooms and I can show you what it looks like on the host end, and it's too many people to like let everybody be a host and see how it feels. Um, the only other thing I want to show one more thing, if before I do that part, if you decide that okay, you want to switch to breakout rooms, like you've done it once and now you have them doing another activity, all you do is you click the recreate button, and again it pops to like them trying to give you groups of 4 to 6, somewhere like that, and you change the rooms, and once you click recreate, everybody will be in new rooms. Um, and so you went from groups of 6 and now you wanted it to only be 4, and so you recreated it with only 4, and boom, now you got a whole new set of groups of 4. So now the last part, like I said, now because I actually have people, I can click open rooms and it will take y'all right to those rooms. So what I will do is I will open a room. I will show you. I'm gonna take a couple screenshots to show you what it looks like on my end. I'm gonna join a couple of the rooms and see if y'all notice that I joined. Because like I said, the big thing somebody asked earlier was about like accountability, right? So let me go and preface this. We're saying breakout rooms. I know they're saying breakout rooms are mandatory right now when you got co-teachers, right? And that means if you do 2 breakout rooms, it's easily both of them are going to be monitored. If you decide that you wanted to do a breakout room in your classroom, the way I look at it is you can't technically hear everything that's being said in your class when you do groups right now. Like in a regular classroom, if you did groups, as teachers, we got better ears, so we can, we like to think we can hear most of the stuff, and we probably can hear a lot of it. But you can't if you were really working with one group and you got 4 other groups on the other side of the room. Chances are you might not hear everything that's said in all the other groups, right? But with Zoom, I look at it like that's the same thing. The only difference is there's no chance of you hearing it, obviously, if you do breakout rooms in Zoom. So if I did 5 breakout rooms, I can only be in one. And there's no way I can hear what's in the other 4. But what I like about it is a lot of times when the host joins, you don't realize they joined until they say something and their picture pops up. Or maybe you look, for some reason, you look at the participants and you see it's an extra person. As a student, my professors did that, and I know me and my classmates, when they leave, would be like, oh, snap, I wonder when they came in. I hope it wasn't when we was talking about them. Like, it's definitely happened to me where my professors joined my breakout room and I had no clue that they joined until they said, what y'all talking about is interesting, and they face pop up. And we like, oh, snap, our professor's there. So I'm going to break y'all out. I'm going to screenshot what it looks like for me to move from group to group. And I also want to see if y'all can tell when I actually join y'all group, see how that feels for somebody who's not in the group to just randomly join. All right? Is there any questions before I put y'all in breakout rooms, Riley?
No.
Okay. All right.
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
His name
Swain
is-
said hello to everyone.
Yeah, ghost.
Now that was because y'all are obviously looking, seeing if I was coming. But if y'all actually were sitting there doing work, somebody's sharing their screen, now the faces aren't up there, right? And now I'm about to leave y'all and join some.
Wayne,
know?
how did you put the message in the group?
I'm gonna show that too.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You didn't pop up till right now. I saw the message before I saw you.
Yeah, because I broadcasted I broadcasted that before I joined y'all group.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And then maybe you can see
Oh, there.
the thing. Hey,
Swain,
Swain.
you can
maybe
see
you can see those if you're the host.
you're doing such a great job.
You are, by the way, Swing.
And
You,
so,
you Morgan Bear, you.
and that was
Question. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
How do you get polls? What if you don't have polls on the bottom of your screen?
that's one of my
Okay, got
points.
you.
Breakout rooms just took a long time.
Okay. No worries.
Do one more and I'm bring everybody back.
Says later.
I don't know. I mean, this is hard.
See, I joined without y'all knowing. See?
I understand.
Hey.
See there,
And
says.
that's what I say about, and obviously y'all were just talking, but what if y'all were actually working and doing some work and I just popped in? Y'all, so that's why I like about breakout rooms where obviously you can't control everything that's happening, but y'all didn't know I joined. So if y'all were doing something off task, I'd have been able to say, got you. I could tell.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm going to bring everyone back.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Swain. I can't hear you.
There we go. Hey, how you doing, Maya?
Thank you for the invitation. This is very helpful.
No problem. I'm glad I could help.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm waiting on everybody to come back in. That's what I was saying about the 60-second countdown. People, you can click it and you can go back early, or you can stay in your breakout rooms until the 60 seconds are up, and then it brings you back. And you can change that feature so that it's less time. Like you can make it 30 seconds. You can make it however long you want it to be. Let me see. What's the shortest you can break it? Well, I got 6 seconds left before everybody joins.
15 seconds.
Everybody's back. So
And we're back.
I was telling them, that's that piece of it automatically brings you back once the timer is up. You have the choice. I was just playing around with the options just now. The most you can give people is 2 minutes before it automatically brings them back. And the shortest you can give them is 10 seconds. It goes 10, 15, 30, 60, 120. So I always keep mine set to 60, but, depending on why you want to have them come back faster. I might, with classes, if I do actually start breaking them out, I might pull them back in that 10 seconds because at that point, I know I'm not jumping to none of the rooms. And also, I'm probably, I didn't gave them a certain amount of time to be in that room anyway. So the 10 seconds is just to get them back. Now I'm going to share my screen and let y'all see what I saw. So this is the first one. Oops. So this was perfect. I had Miss Andrews wasn't in a group, right? She might have just joined as I was doing it. So that can happen. You make your breakout room at the beginning. Somebody joins after you already created it. All you do is one. It gives you like a little 1 at the top. It lets you know. And all you do is you assign. If you put your cursor over their name, it'll say assign. When you click it, it'll just pop open it'll say all the breakout rooms you have. So you can just assign her to room 1 through however many you had, right? Also, this is what it looked like for me as far as when you're ready to join a breakout room. You can scroll through all the breakout rooms you have. You literally just click join. Where's that one? Oh, there we go. You just click join, and when you click it. It says, do you want to join breakout room 2? You say yes, and you get popped right in. I think I joined like 3 rooms. And each one, I got one room. I told you I would get one. I got one room where they didn't realize I joined until I said something. Everybody else is kind of, first one was like looking for me to come. And what I explained is, imagine if you didn't give this assignment, so kids are working. A lot of times, if you give them one document, the kids will share, one of them will share their screen. And you know when you share your screen, it puts the pictures to the side or it disappears the faces. So that's really when you don't know if somebody's joining or not. And the last picture, I sent a message to everybody. And that's called broadcasting. When it only pops up when you're doing breakout rooms. It pops up at the bottom. It says broadcast message to all. And so I clicked hello. I clicked that. It pops up. You can hit hello, because the chat doesn't work to send it to all to everybody, right? The broadcast lets you send it to each group. When you're in a certain breakout room, the chat is still working for that breakout room. But if you have something you want to say to everybody, then you want to broadcast the message. Riley, I see
You said that goes across the chats, the broadcast?
It goes into each room.
In the chat,
Okay.
screen. So like if you wanted to say, make sure you're using page 16 from your resource book, you put it in there and boom, it'll pop up on everybody's screen to say, make sure you're using your research. But like you can't send a link. Any links you want to have sent, you need to put in the chat before you break them out.
I guess that answers teacher account question. She said, can I share a document or video recording that students will have available in the breakout room?
Yeah, not through broadcasting. You will need to put it in the chat before they break out. Yeah, make sure.
Or if it's part of the assignment in Google Classroom, right?
Yeah, like that's other things. So a lot of times, my professors had Google Slides was their document where they kept all the extra links they needed. And so we will follow along on the slides. A lot of times when we went in breakout rooms, every breakout room had a slide they had to work on. So if I had a math problem, it'll be at the top of this slide. And at the top of this, it'll say breakout room 1. So you know that's your slide you should be working on. Or you might be asking Mr. Thomas something about the War of 1812. And everybody has to put something on their slide, but it's going to say breakout room 1, breakout. And this is on a Google slide. When they get in their groups, they can easily get there and access it and work on it together. That's just, go ahead,
I
Rob.
have one more question about the breakout room. Someone asked if you can increase the time limit. So like after you've put them in the groups, is it possible to give all groups more time, or is it possible to give can everybody mute themselves and
That
can
was
you
cool.
what'd you say?
That was the school's bell.
Oh. Also, is it possible to give time to a specific group but not other ones?
Okay, so you can, when the timer is up, if you put that time limit on and it's up, it will ask you, do you want to close it or do you want to keep them open? So yes, you can extend time. I believe for if you wanted some to come back and not all, you can just remove for them. You can like hover over their name and it will bring them back. Like you can choose to bring specific people back. And then that way, the group that you don't will continue to have time. And I mean, like I said, for me, I'm not fully at if I'm going to do it, how much I want to do it. There's risk and reward with it. I think we need more information as teachers on like what is the follow-up if you were doing a breakout room and somebody came back and said something was said or shown or whatever. Because if that's the case, then if it's not just a co-teacher doing it with the students and I'm with the Gen Ed students or vice versa, then I do as a teacher have fear of using it. Like I need to know if I can't see them, should I be using it type thing? Like, so I want people to understand, I'm not saying it's just, but it's so helpful to be able to use it because that's the only way we're going to get group work. I mean, obviously we can give them group work outside, but then we're asking them to figure out how to communicate with each other. But doing breakout rooms on the Zoom, that's the only way I see of how you actually get that collaboration group work where I give you all 5 problems to work on and y'all got 10 minutes. Here y'all go. But at the same time, as a teacher, I'm like, well, what happens if somebody does the wrong thing when they're in this group and I can't see them? So before I'm saying just jump in and using them, that's something I'm going to bring up to Ms. Simley and Mr. Keenan as he's my AP, because I got to get clarification on that. And I don't want y'all to think because I'm showing you how to do it, then I'm saying like, you know, it's end all be all. It's just something I see as very useful, a very useful tool. I see the chat jumping. Is there any questions, Ms. Riley?
No, people are talking about other stuff.
Okay. All right. Bells. So, all right, I got so much stuff open. Let me get back to the presentation. Remember, because I was about to happen to me, you gotta leave full screen of your presentation before you can share it again. Otherwise, it won't share it. You're gonna be sitting there like, "What's going on?" That's because you have to leave full screen before you can share it. All right. So, polls, right? People want to know about polls. The last part of the training is where I'm going to go to settings to let you know how to turn things on, show you all how to make different Zoom links, all the works. You don't see polls. One reason you don't see polls, you all participants, so you can't see polls until I share a poll. Once I share a poll, you will then see poll. But once I stop sharing that poll, you will no longer see polls again. All right. Only the host or co-host. I'm not even. Riley, do you see polls? Because I'm not even sure if the co-host sees polls.
No, but when we were in the breakout rooms, I did see a little list pop up of where everybody was.
Okay. So, that's good to say too. So, were you able to move?
I didn't try to.
We might have to test that out. Because I do know the host is the one who makes the breakout rooms. All right. So you have to be the host. The co-host doesn't make the breakout rooms. The host has to. Now, what that means, right? Well, if me and Gwen Allen are co-teaching pair and I created the Zoom, but I want her to make the breakout rooms, well, I have to give my rights of host to her. And I will show you all how to do that. It's really simple. But once I make her the host, then she can create the breakout rooms. Even though it's my Zoom room, you can give somebody else host rights in a Zoom room. You also can make co-hosts. And I'm going to show you how to do both. Like right now, Miss Riley is my co-host. All right.
Yeah, I don't see any poll thing at the bottom of mine.
Yeah, because I didn't think so. So, because it's just like breakout rooms. Like you can't create breakout rooms. You can't create polling as a co-host. Only the host can do that. All right. So, couple things I found out is really cool. One, you must make your poll before the meeting. All right, and I'm going to show us how to do that. But once you have made a poll before the meeting, you can then create others inside of the actual meeting. And that might have sounded like a lot, but with the slides, you'll be able to tell. So this poll that says Zoom training, it was created before, and this is literally what it looks like on my end. I also have a second one. I just made it up called What. So if you have 2 polls, when you go in, you would click this arrow down and it lets you choose which poll you want to share. So you will have that opportunity. Now, if you click this edit button, it's going to pop you to a screen like this. And it gives you now the opportunity to create a new poll in the middle of class. So let's say you're teaching, you have the students work on something, you're like, let me see how they're doing. When you click that edit button, you can easily pop in a quick, informative poll. how, or you make a statement like, I can translate a point. That's something we do in 8th grade math. And in your answer choices, kind of, but I need some more help. Yes, I can do it on my own. Yes, and I can teach others how to do it. And then as soon as they finish their little work that you had them doing, boom, you pop up the poll and you can see how the class is going. So I started with this Zoom training poll. I had a second one already. Then when I clicked edit, I made up this one with just letters. And now it's there for me to actually be able to push out for people to see. Oops, did not mean to stop sharing. Sometimes we slip up, man. It's all right. Also, that's one big thing. And again, I tried to share before I clicked escape and left full screen. Like I told y'all, if you try to share before you leave full screen, it won't work. There you go, right there. All right. Hop back in. And I think that's why I left, because that's my last slide. I'll now want to show y'all the settings of Zoom, what we need to have on, what we need to turn on. And all right. So if you want to, I can give everybody a few moments while Riley lets me know if there's any questions. If you want to go ahead and log in, like leave Zoom from the sharing screen, if you have the ability to like click unfull screen, exit full screen, that'll let you work on other things on your computer while I'm sharing mine, but you can also still see my share screen if you exit full screen. Because once I first share, it automatically pops you in the full screen. And if you exit full screen, you'll be able to see the rest of the things on your computer. And if you want to go ahead and go to Zoom, to get into your PGCPS Zoom, you should go to the staff portal, click the Zoom link, and it'll ask you to log in. Riley, are there any questions?
It was just people asked about how to make polls, but I told them they had to go on the participant side to be able to, the host side to be able to see the creating the polls.
Yeah, well, and we're going to see it in here. That's why I want people to log in, because you're going to see how to do it inside of here. You actually create your poll before class in here. Now, during class, you can do it during a meeting as well. But I'm going to show you how to create them in here. I'm going to give people about 30 more seconds to get logged into Zoom.
You mean into their own Zoom, like in a new window?
Yes, like exit full screen, go to your browser, go to staff portal, log into Zoom so that you can be in your own Zoom, because we're going to talk about these settings. To make sure you have the settings optimized to your usage.
You say go to the staff portal?
Yeah, so in order to get to your Zoom, you have to go to staff portal, applications, and when you click Zoom, it's going to take you to sign in.
So you have to come all the way out to go to the staff portal, correct?
You just so what you have to do is where your control panel is, there should be a button to say, I think when you click view options or more options, you should be able to click exit full screen. So you don't have to like leave Zoom. You don't have to.
Okay. Then go to.
Yeah, you just exit full screen so that you can see the rest of the things on your document. On your computer.
And Swain, they could also just go to the internet and push Zoom, and then there's a button to log in with Google, and if you just click your PGCPS email, it'll take you in.
Okay, I didn't know. I thought it stopped doing that. That's why I just say I always go to staff portal, because I used to try to just log in with Google and PGCPS. But I
Raleigh, say it again, because you said it fast. I couldn't follow you.
If you just go to like Zoom in Google, and then when you get to the sign in page, it'll have an option to sign in with Google, and then it will allow you to click your PGCPS email and you sign in, and it'll take you in that way too.
I'm in Zoom, but it's saying video conferencing.
You gotta tell me where you are. Like, did you just type Zoom into a new window?
No, I went through my application.
No.
You gotta go further down so you can log in.
Okay, sign in.
Yep.
And from sign in, do I go to meetings?
No, I'm you're gonna go to setting, and we're gonna all be at the same place from setting.
Okay, I'm in settings.
Yep, that's where everybody gonna be.
I'm not there.
Okay, I'm not understanding how to do this part.
Miss Tate, could you get to leave full screen, or are you still full screen seeing what I'm showing? Or matter of fact, I can do this to help you. I'll put this in the chat, and you can just click this link, and it's gonna take you. Click that staff portal. Nope, Howard, do not click host the meeting, because then you're gonna end this meeting. Well, you're gonna end yourself out of this meeting.
So where it says profile, hit those settings under profile?
Hit setting underneath profile. So as
Okay.
you, where I'm at settings, that's what you want to hit, settings.
Okay.
Please here, go to chat.
Yeah, go to your chat, Miss Tate.
Okay, got you.
Click where it says staff portal.
That's where it says staff portal. Okay.
Staff.pgcps.org.
Okay.
And that should take you to the staff portal, right?
Oh,
And then from the staff portal, you want to go to your applications.
go to applications. Uh-huh.
All the way at the bottom, you want to go to Zoom. Click Zoom.
All the way at the bottom, you want to go to Zoom. Okay.
And then you sign in with your regular PGCPS login.
So you sign in.
Did you
Okay,
click Zoom, right?
Yes, I did, sir. Uh-huh.
Now you see a sign, you see it asking you to sign in?
I see a video conferencing.
No, but scroll down the page. You gotta scroll all the way down the bottom of the page.
Okay, scroll all the way down. Okay, sign in. All right.
So Swain, this, once you hit settings, the meeting recording and telephone, that pops up with your waiting room, the waiting room options and all that. Is that the right spot?
Hold on, let me see what, because you was at profile, you said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I clicked settings and then that page popped up.
Okay, you went to
Security, schedule meetings, end meetings, and meeting advance, email notifications.
Yeah, so
All
you,
that's on the same page.
so meetings, recording, telephone, security, yep, waiting room. That's where you should be, where it says waiting room.
Okay, okay.
Where would I find the application?
Mr. Bangor, just
Portal.
Yes, I've been in Sapora, but where next?
Look for application.
it's a pull down menu.
Zoom. Hit Zoom.
In application, there's a pull down box that you can click on.
You sign in.
Click on Zoom.
Okay. Now, Mr. Now I'm in. I already hit Zoom and did all of that. I signed in.
Good.
So they gave me account number and all of this.
You wear, yeah, it say profile, right?
Yes, it does.
So you see all the next word is meeting, and then webinar, and recordings. So you want to go all the way down to setting. You want to click the word that says settings.
Settings. Okay.
Yeah. Leave it right there. That's where we are right now.
And leave it right there.
Yep. And then until I start saying what we should be clicking and not.
Okay, then you go sign in.
Wayne, can you share your screen with the same screen so people can look at it?
Yeah, it's just because they're not in. I can share again, but it's gonna take them away from their screen.
Oh, they don't know how to cut.
Okay.
I really don't know why I don't see application.
Mr. Bangura, you got it?
No, I don't see the application.
Say Swain?
You don't gotta have a Chrome extension. It just makes it easier to
Share
set
your
up.
screen with him.
You got settings, 10 live training video.
All right. So, Mr. Bangor, I can work with you at the end to try to help get you to here. But if you can go ahead and hop back to Zoom so that you can at least see what I'm doing. All right. So everybody, the reason I had you go to your settings because I'm going to actually walk you through it.
Okay.
What I have on versus and like you can, and I'm gonna explain what some of the things are. Some of the things the county already mandated a certain way, so they either have it on or they do or they don't. All right. So the first thing is the waiting room. We all have experienced sitting in the waiting room last week in the staff meeting. You gotta wait to get in. Very useful tool. It allows you to see who's joining. One thing we're gonna try to push is that you have to join with the right name, first and last name, and that's how you can make sure anybody can't just join. So like last week, somebody tried to join with the name Beyonce Knowles. We didn't let them in because we know Beyonce Knowles don't work at our school, so we didn't let them in, right? So you want to make sure that button is clicked on.
Wait, which one? The waiting room button, you want that click, right?
Yeah, you want that blue.
Okay, you want it blue.
Yep.
The settings has been updated.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right.
This
So
is modified and reset. Okay.
Blue is sticking out to the side of the circle, correct?
Say it again, Alan.
The blue, because when I clicked in the circle, it didn't have blue, but the blue is on the outside of the circle.
Like it probably starts as gray.
Right.
You want to make sure that it turns blue once you click it.
But the blue is on the outside of the circle. It's not.
Inside the circle's still white.
Okay.
Yeah.
My setting, it says setting in blue background. Is that where it should be?
Say it again, Mr. Up.
Setting in blue background.
And blue background.
Should I click setting?
Yes, you should click the word setting. And that'll get you to where we are.
Okay.
All right. So got the waiting room on. Requiring a new passcode when scheduling new meetings. That's important. So that the kids and it'll be attached to the link anyway, but you'll better share the password.
We got waiting options. Everyone should sign in.
Requiring a passcode for instant meetings. Again, passcodes, they want us to have that on, so that should be blue. Anything that says require a passcode, you want to make that blue because the county wants us to have it to make sure there's no bombing or anything happening with Zoom.
Mr. Swain?
Yes.
I'm sorry, but what tab in settings are you on?
So when I click settings, it automatically starts as meeting with security over top of it.
What if you find that your settings is not formatted in the same way? Like mine has general video, audio, share screen. It doesn't have what you have.
So I don't want to take people away. Can you find your Miss Belloni at the bottom of your computer? Can you find your Zoom button so that you can see what mine shows? Like click Zoom, so that you can come back to my screen.
Can I do what?
So you know, like where your applications are on your computer. Click the Zoom application so you can see my screen.
Okay.
So
You can continue. You can continue. If anything else, I'll wait till the end.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you see where I am and make sure that that yours is the same place, because it should look the same. I just want to make sure you're at the same place as I am.
Okay, I'll figure it out. Thank you.
No problem.
Mr. Swain, there are two options here for personal meeting ID. Which one should we check off?
For personal meetings, where it says only meetings with join before host enabled, I put all meetings use a personal meeting ID.
That's what I put too. I just wanted to make sure it was right.
Yep.
And that will be the same passcode for all?
So no, you're gonna have a choice to generate a new one every time, or some people use their personal one. I don't. I use generate a new one every time because, again, if you use the same. Now, I do plan on doing reoccurring meetings, and they will have the same password so that the kids use the same link. It's easier for them, but I'll explain that.
Okay.
The embedded passcode invite link for one click join. So I have that on. I think it starts as on. The reason I have that, like today's meeting, you only needed to click a link. But like, you know, like when Assembly, when she does the meeting, you got to put the password in too. So if you want that feature, then you want to turn this off and make it gray. But if you want to be able to just share a link, the kids click it and they get to come to Zoom, then you want to leave that blue.
So what link is that I have to leave blue?
Embedded passcode and invite link for one.
Embedded.
What did you say, Mr. Stout?
You were saying what I should turn blue.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's embedded passcode and invite link for one click join. So it already starts as blue. I'm saying you make it gray if you like how Assembly makes you put a password in each time. If you want that for your students, then you would make that gray.
Oh, it's gray already in mine. It says embedded passcode and invite link for one click join.
Yep, it's already blue. Yep.
No, it's gray.
Oh, yours started as gray. Mine started as blue. So if you want them just to be able to click a link and join, then you should make it blue.
No. Go over that again. If I want to click for them not to put the passcode, but just to click the link and join.
The easiest way for me to explain it, today, when you click the link to join this, it brought you straight to the meeting. Last week, when you did Assemblies, if you want them to have to click a link and then put a password in like hers, then you should make it gray.
You see my chat?
So, Mr. Swain, when that is in gray, that means the kids will just have to click on the Zoom and then join the class.
When it's in gray, they will have to put in the password.
Or they would have to put a password.
Yeah.
But if it's in blue, they don't have to put a password.
Yes.
So let me make it blue.
All right. All right. Just going down to the next things we'll talk about is the
Well, it's fine. I apologize real quick. It's the one above that for the required passcode for personal meetings. Did we select all meetings or the one above it? Only meetings.
I thought you heard me. I said all meetings.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Scrolling down to scheduling meetings. I always start my meetings with the host video on, but the participants video off. This year, they want the kids' videos on. So you want that to be blue for participants' videos to be on and the host video to be on.
So you want it, all should be blue. Host video should be blue and participant video should be blue.
Yes. These next two, the county decided on it, so you can't change that anyway.
Join before host.
Yeah, that's like automatically off. They don't allow that.
Yeah.
Swain, for my participants video, it won't let me change it to blue.
You said it won't let you change it?
It did. I did it for the host. It's fine. But for the participants, it won't let me. I keep getting a circle with a line through it.
Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if the county is.
Oh, okay. Wait. It jumped back.
Okay. All right. Good.
No, it did. It was blue. Now it's gray again.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they still will be able to turn their videos on. It just it makes them come on with the video on.
Oh, okay.
If you could say that one, are you talking about schedule meeting, host video on, and participate?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for host video, I have that on all the time because I like my video to be on when I come on. And then the participants video, they want us to have the kids have the videos on this year. So I had that on as well.
Okay, thank you.
But even if it wasn't on,
what did you say about?
Turn it on. Go ahead, Ms. Bobby.
Yeah, what did you say about the authenticated users setting? What is that supposed to be?
I believe it's already blue, correct?
Yes.
So I left it. You will have an opportunity to have that as checked on or off when you schedule your meetings. My only worry with it, I normally leave it off when I schedule meetings, is because if somebody joins on their phone, I don't know what makes somebody authenticated, and I don't want a kid not to be able to join. As long as it says their name, you know what I mean? Then I'm gonna know that's who it is. But I know we're using so many different devices. I don't want somebody not to join because they're not authentic user. Meaning, in my head, I think that means like they didn't sign in with their license.
Okay, so what button is that?
You don't have to change anything, Ms. Stout. It's already set. That's why I didn't say anything. Some of them are already set. Like, I'm not going to say anything else about the scheduled meetings. Everything else is set, and you shouldn't change anything else in that.
So do I need to see Johnson for the participants video, why that circle and that line keeps coming through?
No, because again, they will be able to turn their video on either way. This just made it come on from when they first joined.
I see. Okay.
So Swain, everything so far has been blue, right?
No.
Not everything. Some things are off, but some things are off by the county. Yeah, I see what you mean. Everything that I talked about was blue. So everything from video was blue.
blue.
Yes.
Thank you.
You'll start seeing your first gray one with join before host. That's gray because the county don't let them join.
Now for audio type, there are 3 choices here. Do we do the one that's telephone and computer, or just computer audio?
I have it set as computer audio.
Okay, that's mine too.
I've never had any problems with kids not hearing me or anything. So again, that was one that I just didn't touch. It was already set and I didn't change it.
Okay.
Now, the next thing is what's going to start being useful for us in meeting basic. This is where we start deciding what we want in our classroom. So I don't know if any of y'all noticed, but last week when you're on in Ms. Assembly's chat, you can only send things in the chat to Ms. Assembly or any of the hosts, co-hosts, right? If you want students to be able to send messages to each other, then you have that on as blue. If you do not want them to be able to send messages, you only want them to be able to send it to the host and co-host, then you have it gray.
Where is that? I can't find that.
Keep scrolling down. It's the second one underneath in meeting. The title of it is in meeting basic, and it's called chat.
Yes, I see the chat is in blue.
Yeah, so that means that the students can have messages amongst each other. But remember, I showed you that even inside of a meeting, you can turn chat off. So if there's like a worry of, oh, they're going to be talking while I'm presenting. Well, if you don't want them to be putting anything in a chat while you're presenting, you can literally turn it off in the middle of your meeting. One big thing that I do have clicked on is prevent participants from saving the chat. I do that to cover myself. If something crazy was said for whatever reason, I don't want any and everybody just saving it. But I save them for my, I like the fact that I can save it so that if I need to go, it says prevent participants from saving chat.
So I should
click it. You should click that.
It's in blue.
Yeah.
Where is that, Swain?
Right underneath chat. I think it might go away if you don't let them chat with each other. Like if you have chat gray, it probably goes away. But if you have chat in blue, then it pops up as an option.
So because prevent participants from saving chat, mine is in blue.
Yeah.
Okay. Then private chat is in gray.
Yes, you can't change that. So it don't even allow them to have one-on-one messages. So
you have your chat setting as on, right?
Yeah, I leave my chat settings on. Yeah, because if I want to turn it off in a meeting, I'll just turn it off with the settings button.
Hey, Swain, what section are you in?
Underneath in meeting basic.
Okay, and what about those first two there? What did you just say?
So the first one I don't change. That's a required encryption. It was already done. I didn't change
Yeah.
it. Chat, I was explaining, like, if you want the kids to be able to put things in the chat, and I actually see, like, they won't be able to send one-on-one messages with each other, but like how y'all have been sending stuff in the chat, that's why I leave it on. But I just prevent participants from saving stuff so that if something does go wrong, I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna report it if somebody says something or whatever else. But I don't want all the kids to have it saved to be able to, do whatever they want to with it.
So leave that one off too?
Yeah, like I put a blue check for prevent participants. Yeah. If you want, you can save all your chats. I don't have it on, and it'll save it, I believe, to your computer or to the Zoom website. I don't have it on to save all of them. If I need to, I will save it, but as of right now, I don't have it on.
And that's where that auto saving chats is?
Yeah, that's the auto saving chats. If you wanted to save every chat, that's up to you.
Swain, I just clicked the auto saving chat on just to see what it did. And it says the option cannot be changed.
So that's a county thing. That's all. Yeah.
So, yeah, because I'm one of those, I'm like, well, let me touch it and see what it does.
Yeah.
So you can't change it.
Yeah, they handle a lot of the different things. So, sound notifications. So I don't know if any of you hosted before, but you have the option. You get this ping sound every time somebody joins. It's a ping. I do it because I like to know when somebody's joining my Zoom. Obviously, some people kind of get annoyed by it. I mean, it is what it is. I understand people join and leave and come back. So every time somebody leaves, you're gonna hear it, and every time somebody comes in, you're gonna hear it. It's gonna be a little ping, 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 ping. Miss Riley been hearing it because she's a co-host, and I have it for the host and co-host.
I turned mine on.
Definitely don't want it for everyone, because then all the kids.
Why isn't my audio working?
I turned mine on.
Riley, we just heard you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Mr. Swain, I said I turned mine on. It's okay to turn mine on, right?
Yes, I put them on because I like to know who's coming in and out of my meeting. And I like it for host and co-host only, not for everyone. The kids don't need to hear it.
Okay.
Oh, I want to, now that you can hear me, can I clarify something about the authenticated user?
Yeah.
The authenticated user has to do with PGCPS, and basically it will keep students from entering your room who aren't using their PGCPS email.
Yeah.
So if they, I ran into that last year. That's how I realized what it was, that if you put that on, then students won't be able to get in the room unless they're using their PGCPS email.
Where is it, Riley?
It's at the top where it says
right above scheduling meeting.
What is it listed? What is it called again, please?
It says only authenticated users can join from web client.
And it's actually a setting that's already on.
It's on. Yeah.
So I didn't. Again, a lot of stuff I didn't turn off. If it was on already, because a lot of it don't even have to deal with what I've been trying to teach you about.
I can't find that feature.
It's already on. You don't even have to worry about it. It's already on, Mr. Up.
Okay.
The only problem with that one is when kids are using their parents' phones.
Exactly. That was my only fear behind it. It's because I don't want a kid not to get in simply because they didn't sign in with PGCPS.
Yeah, because I guess now in the spring, now in the fall, it shouldn't be an issue because they should be. But that's how I figured out what it was, because kids were like, I can't get in. So
it shouldn't be an issue because everybody has a Chromebook. We're supposed to if they come pick it up.
Yeah. So now it should be on.
So our next one, we were down to file transfer. That's
Can I ask you a question real quick, Swain?
Yep.
When you hit host and co-host only for the sound notifications,
Yes.
it comes up when someone joins by phone.
So yeah, I mean, unless you want somebody that would. So what that is like when they join by phone, they got to make a message saying who they are, but they can make a message saying anything, so that you will hear that when they join by phone. So I don't have that on.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that asked to record their voice because I don't want somebody saying anything crazy.
What feature is that?
It's not on, so you don't got to turn it off.
Okay.
Feedback to Zoom, that's your kids aren't going to use it, and y'all probably never even noticed it. When you leave Zoom, it actually asks you if you want to leave feedback for the host. Most people don't. So if it's off, it's fine. If it's on, it's fine. But most people aren't going to use it. Now this is where we start getting into the things that we want to use. Co-host, you want to have that on. All right. It allows you to make people co-hosts. And co-hosts are important because if you have a co-teacher, you want them to have all the abilities that you have, well, at least most of them. Polling, you want to make sure polling is turned on.
My co-host won't turn on, Swain, but my polling is already on.
Okay, your polling's good. Your co-host won't turn on?
Where is polling?
It's right underneath co-host. You got to start scrolling down.
When under the co-host, when we turn that on, just like the other ones that we turned on, that thing comes up to the right where it says modified and reset. We just leave that alone?
Yeah, that just means that you changed the setting.
Okay.
So then you know that you modified that setting. If you wanted to go back to normal, you click reset.
I got you.
Yeah.
Under co-host, after co-host, what I have is always show meeting control toolbar.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We were just talking about co-host and polling.
I don't have polling.
It's not underneath your co-host?
Nope.
Me neither.
No, I don't have polling either.
Okay, so that's interesting. Y'all might have to. I mean, Zoom could need an update. That could be a situation.
When I came into the building, it did ask me to reconfigure, and Zoom was one of the upgrades.
And
I just updated mine, but the other thing, Swain, is that also if you're not connected, like, how do I put this? If your account is not the PGCPS account, it may also not have all the features. So that's the.
But all of them logged in. Well, at least I know Miss Stout logged in.
Oh, okay,
We walked through it.
Yeah, me too.
Because I know initially in the spring when I had Zoom, I wasn't using the PGCPS. And then when I did something to connect them together, then some of those features were available. So you may need to, because it changed mine to something called SSO, a single sign-on account. So it might be something you need to talk to Mr. Johnson about, but there are certain things that I think are connected through PGCPS because my account definitely looked different when I connected it to my school email.
Yeah. And I will say, like Miss Allen said, I know updates probably is a big thing. Like polling wasn't in the spring. I didn't have polling, but now I do. And I know I've had to update Zoom a few times. A lot of things that you'll find out about Zoom is simply updating. Like somebody asked me about virtual backgrounds. That is an update on your end that has to be updated. Like your computer has to be updated or you won't be able to use them type thing. So I'm guessing with polls, it's the same thing. Is your Zoom probably needs to be updated. And that'll be something like Miss Riley said, when you come in to get your teacher kit, you might want to talk with Mr. Johnson about updating your computer because it'll be a little bit harder to try to update over Zoom for me to kind of explain.
Or just connect to the network and it might take care of itself.
Oh yeah, there you go. So when you come in and you actually connect to the network, our computer definitely do a lot of updates and stuff when they actually connect to the network.
Mine just said update Zoom, just got a message.
See, there you go. So, but so Ms. Porterfield, if you do update after this, when you do, you should see that polling right underneath co-host. And that might be why you can't change some of these settings.
Oh, the polling, it just changed when the update came and I was able to do it after that.
See? So always show. So Ms. Stout, I would say for you, you probably want to have that on. That always show meeting control bar. That's where your security, your mute, stop video, participants chat. That bar. That's what this is talking about. If you always want that to be on, I would say make that blue. Mine is great because I don't really care. I know how to just get it to pop up if I need it. But it is useful to always have that on. So
allow me to turn it. It will not allow me to change it to blue.
It won't. So then again, that's probably just Ms. Stout. You probably just need to update your Zoom, and you will be able to. But even if it's not on, all you do is you bring your cursor over top of your meeting control bar, and it'll pop up. All right, screen sharing. So again, I turned mine to allow hosts and participants to screen share. I haven't figured out when I'm going to use this in my class, but I know there probably will be a time where I want participants to be able to screen share, whether it be a presentation or whatever else, right? So obviously there's risk and reward. If I allow them to screen share, they can share whatever they want to on their computer. Definitely can. But when it comes to screen share, the difference between like breakout rooms and screen share, we know exactly who's sharing their screen. It ain't you can see exactly who's doing it. So unlike annotation, unlike breakout rooms, there's no guessing. So it's a lot less room for kids to just do whatever. I mean, unless they don't care.
My screen share zone.
So just put the host only who can share?
Now, I put host only because in the meeting, I can make it to where, like I showed y'all in the security box, you can make it to where participants can do it. But I don't want them always to be able to do it. I only want them. But if you like turn screen sharing off, then you wouldn't even be able to screen share. So you got to make sure that screen sharing is on.
Okay, that was a little confusing for me. Just to make sure I understand.
Yep.
For that part, you want you're suggesting to have host only, but you're saying
only.
In a Zoom we can change it.
Yes.
To allow. Okay.
Yeah. In your meeting, you can change it to where anybody can share.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Miss Monique, when you go to your script, when you're in a host, next to the share screen, there will be a little arrow, and then it'll allow you to click down to participants, allowing them to share.
Okay.
Yeah, they did, but rather they put it in the security thing too. That was like the original way of how you did it, but they put it in the security for you to be able to do that there. Where it's
okay. Thank you.
Yep. Disable desktop or screen sharing, whatever that's already set to, just leave it. Annotations. All right, now this is a big one. This is based off what you want to do.
Mine is off.
So if you want to allow people to be able to annotate and write on the screen at different points, then turn it on. If you don't, then turn it off. And I understand both ways. Annotate, there's a lot less discipline behind it in the sense of you can't tell who annotated. So anybody can write anything. You really can't tell who it is. But there are so many bonuses with having kids be able to write on screen. It's just a risk and reward that you have to decide as a teacher if you want to do that risk or reward or not. I also put, now I do allow screen sharings with annotations because if we're really working on a problem and we writing it out, I want my kids to be able to save that so that they can refer back to it like notes essentially. That's why I have it on. But again, it's just a risk and reward type thing. That
you can also put it where only the person sharing can annotate. So if you have one kid, only they can annotate the screen at the time.
Yeah, but that's if they're sharing. Like, so that's if I'm sharing, then I would be the only one who can annotate. Does that make sense? But like if you're sharing, you'll be the only one. But if I want them to annotate my shared screen, if you have that on, then nobody will be able to annotate. It's still the same thing as like not having them annotate.
Okay.
So wait, so for that one, Swain, you got allow saving and shared screens or annotations checked or no?
I do, because again, like if we're working on a problem and somebody had a kid work it out, or even if I worked it out with annotations, I want the kids to be able to save that if they want it. You know what I mean? Like, now, again, everything is risk. A lot of stuff with Zoom is risk and reward in the sense of somebody could write something stupid and then somebody could save it, and then, you know, that could happen too. So I want to make sure I'm clear, like the risk and reward factors, and I want everybody to have their choice. Like, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. It's about if you feel the risk and reward is worth it or not. Some people are like, I don't want kids playing around with annotations, and they don't turn it on. And that's perfectly fine. If you don't want to deal with it, then that's fine. Whiteboard, right? So Mr. Who was it? Mr. Gardner asked this, how do you put it on? You got to first have this setting turned on, Mr. Gardner, and anybody else who is wondering, like, they don't even see they whiteboard as a choice. It's probably because you did not have this turned on. You got to have that turned on first. It got to be blue for you to even be able to share. And again, I allow saving of whiteboard content because it's the same again as like notes. I'd rather them save it and have those notes.
My whiteboard is automatically blue.
Say it again, Ms. Stout.
My whiteboard is automatically blue.
Well, there you go. So you're good. Remote control. This is gonna be the last thing I'm gonna show y'all. Is the remote control setting. I will turn that on if it's not already turned on. Non-verbal feedback. I will have that on because those are the little thumbs up and the claps. Or no, that's the meeting reactions. The non-verbal is in your participation. And like y'all, if you we'll look at that too. If you actually go there, you can click like yes, no, go faster, go slower. It's even like a coffee button there for whatever reason. Now, this is the big one.
You need a break.
Huh?
That's a you need a break.
That could be you need a break, right? So that's why I love the nonverbal feedback. And it as a host, it shows you when somebody puts one of those on. Allow remove participants to rejoin. I'm so torn in between this because last week I had a problem with it when somebody accidentally got removed and we couldn't get them back into the meeting, like to save our lives, because the assembly had it to where if you don't have this on, if I remove you, you will not be able to join the meeting today, tomorrow, or the next week. So that's the problem with this button. It can be good because obviously somebody can be going crazy and you want to remove them, but then they never can get back in. So I would leave it on because even if I removed you today, you might need to, like, you have calmed down and tomorrow you can rejoin. Plus, you don't have to worry about, as long as you have the waiting room on, even if they try to rejoin the meeting the same day, they can't get in until you allow them to join, like, come through the waiting room. If that makes sense.
We can't put them back in the waiting room, huh?
You can't. So, like, once you remove them, they remove. But they can choose to join the waiting room. But if you have this turned off, once you remove them, they will not be able to get back in, period. And so that's why I have it on as allow them to remove to rejoin. Because they still got to go to the waiting room anyway. So if you're like, you need a 5-minute timeout, you remove them, and then they join the waiting room, then you can make them sit in there for 5 minutes before they can join again.
That's better.
Yeah, so that's why I have this turned on as blue.
Where is that? I just got in, so.
We're in settings, in our Zoom settings, and it's underneath the list of in meeting basic.
I got you. Okay.
Now, I really hope the county considers changing this because my problem, I don't know, unless they're logging in with their PGCPS, I don't know how we're going to identify kids with the iPhone who join or iPad or their parents or whatever else, because the county has this locked so people can't rename themselves. I really wish we could. It would, I mean, obviously people could just make any name, but I don't know what the next steps are right now. If somebody join in and they're not using a Chromebook and they don't say their name, so then we don't let them in class. I don't know what the next steps are for that. But right now it is locked by the county. Huh?
Well, with that though, they can, even if they're using mom or dad's phone, they can still go into Chrome, sign in under their email, and then move on. So there's no reason for them to be able to rename themselves, because they can access Google pretty much on any device.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Chrome. It doesn't have to be whatever. They just have to sign in.
That's true. That's true.
So, I mean, if they're telling you I can't get in and they're making excuses, they need to sign into their Gmail account.
That's true.
That's the issue, the Gmail account.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to sign into their PGCPS.
Mrs. Swain, did you say remote on or off? I forgot. I forgot that.
I have the remote on, and I'm gonna show you. It's like one of the coolest tools about Zoom that I learned, not actually in class. I learned doing it something else, but it's a really cool tool. The high participants, profile pictures, and meetings, that was already off, so I just left it off. The report participants to Zoom was already on. I left it. I turned breakout rooms on. I'm not sure if it was on or off already. So
Mine is off.
So I made sure if you think you want to use breakout rooms, then I would say turn it on. If you, after like me explaining how they work and everything, if you don't think it's gonna be something you want to do, don't turn it on. I'm not sure. Again, because I know for co-teaching, the school is saying we got to use it. But if it's not co-teaching, I'm not sure what the feelings are for everyone else. Everything else I left as it was. I didn't change anything else. I did put virtual well, actually, that was already on virtual backgrounds. But as I said, like I can't use them because my computer is not up to date to use them. So, yep, I don't change. Let me make sure. I didn't change any other settings after the allow remove participants to join in the breakout rooms. That was the last thing I changed. I don't change anything else. So now I want to show you all.
Real quick, Mr. Swain.
Yep.
The closed caption. Have you ever used that feature? Does it write down what you say?
No, you gotta write it, or somebody has to.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
All right, so what I want people to do is click meetings. You gotta scroll all the way up. You click meetings, like where it says settings. You're gonna click meeting. I just want to show everybody how to schedule a meeting.
In basic?
Where it says meetings, right underneath profile.
But it says basic beside it, in meetings basic?
No. Scroll all the way to the top.
Oh, to the top.
And then on the left, like where it says settings and your blue, like it's a blue line where settings is because that's where you are. I want you to click meetings and make meetings have the blue line.
Oh, schedule meeting.
Yep, that's where I want you to be. Everybody at meetings?
Yeah.
No, I can't get in.
And it turns blue. The schedule meetings turns blue.
It will once you click it. I wasn't saying you had to schedule a meeting yet, but meetings should just be blue.
Yeah, when I clicked on it, it turned blue.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wait, we should be in meetings, upcoming, previous, personal room, meeting templates, right?
Yep.
Yes.
So if you're looking at my screen, it's showing the meeting that I'm on right now, and it's showing that I'm recording. It's a little red camera next to it.
No, you're showing polls.
Yeah.
Huh?
We can't see
Yeah.
you. All we
You still
see is
showing polls.
your presentation.
Oh, I've been doing this without showing my screen.
Yeah.
That is so bad. All that. So it's just
I meant to tell you, but I was like, okay, well, maybe.
Are y'all serious? I didn't.
Yeah, but Swain, you were doing such a great job of
Wait, we didn't want to tell you, man.
step by step.
I was trying to say, like, how am I not seeing what you're seeing?
This is so. I did not
The
understand.
whole time, I was like, Maybe
So
not.
I was like, let me not interrupt because I've already interrupted enough, but I don't see what they're seeing.
Exactly.
So, so Mr.
Really
Swain, can
job
you,
of
because
following along.
Mrs. Swain, can you go back to the settings page and just down slow so we can see what you've got?
Yeah.
Just to verify what you've got blue and not.
Yes. So I
Definitely.
think Skylar pointed out first, like everything was blue originally, all the way up until join before host. Everything before that was blue for me. I feel bad for people going back and watching this. They're gonna go through that whole thing, and just for them to get to this.
Our password needs to be HBCU.
And then, oh no, that was just I changed my personal to that. Something simple. Again, these things were already set. We didn't do too much in between scheduling meetings, other than making both of those come on. Now, inside of in-meeting basic, chat was blue, prevent was checked. Couldn't change either one of those. Sound, host and co-host only. Feedback was on. Go ahead, Ms. Hawkins.
If I decide I want to have a breakout room, in here, do I put in a time amount for my breakout, like we do when we break out 5 minutes?
We covered that, Ms. Hawkins. But what I'll do, because you joined a little bit late, I will keep the room open because I technically only got 11 minutes left.
Okay.
But I'll keep the room open. So feedback Zoom, I told y'all don't even worry about them. Most people don't even realize the feedback is there. But I did say if you can turn your co-host, turn your polls on. I know some people didn't see polls. So if you don't see polls, you probably need to update your Zoom. Or like Ms. Allen was saying, as soon as she came into the school building today and opened her computer, it asked her to update stuff. So once you update it, it should be there. Share screen has to be on, host only, because in the meeting, you'll be able to turn it on for participants if you ever want them to be able to do that.
Mr. Stewart, where are you now?
Say it again.
We're back
Where
under
are you
meetings.
now? Aren't we in meetings?
Yeah, we're back under meetings because his screen wasn't showing, so he wanted to go back and just show it.
Okay, got it.
Are watching the recording.
Okay, got it.
Annotation, again, annotation and whiteboard are both just teacher choice if they want to use them or not. If you want to use them, turn them on. The risk and reward is you don't know who's writing something. So if somebody writes something bad, you just got to erase it. You can't tell who did it. That's the risk and reward. But the reward is kids can write on the screen if you have them doing something, Same thing with the whiteboard. Now, I do have it to allow them to save those things because if I wrote something on the screen and it's something good or another kid wrote something on the screen, I want them to be able to save it as if it was notes for them to use. The remote control setting, I have that on. I'm going to show you all what that does. Nonverbal feedbacks, that's on because they can say yes, no, stop, go slower.
Where can I find the verbal feedback?
Say that again and stop.
Where can I find the verbal feedback?
The nonverbal, it was in your settings right underneath remote control.
Okay,
nonverbal feedback. Meeting reactions, that's already on. I left that on. Allow participants to rejoin. The reason I turned that on is because if you have it off and you remove somebody, then they never can join that link again. You will have to create a new link for the class for them to be able to join again. But with this on, you can remove them. They can try to join, but as long as you have waiting room on, they won't be able to get in until you accept them anyway. And then I have my breakout rooms turned on because I'm considering using them. I haven't guaranteed I'm using them yet, but I've considered using them, so I'm going to have it turned on. If I turn it off, then you won't ever be able to use it. And then everything else from there was already set, and I did not change anything.
For the breakout room, Swain.
Yep.
Do you need to hit save on there? It just turned blue.
No, as long as it turned blue, all the settings save on their own.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Swain, I have mute participants upon entry gray. Should I turn it blue or leave it as it is?
Mute participants upon entering?
Mm-hmm.
That's by the county. It should already be turned to where.
Locked. It's locked.
Yeah, so you can't do nothing with it.
Okay.
All right. So here.
That's your remote control.
Huh?
I'm looking for the remote control.
Okay, let me help you in a few minutes, Missed Out, because I want to finish up before.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it. It's blue.
So in our meetings, this is where we're going to. This is how I told you you can make 4 different links. And I say that because we're going to click schedule meeting, right? And I can't remember our school day right now off the top of my head. I think mod 1 is from 9 a.m. till 9:45. I think that's right.
Are we supposed to be able to see your screen? Because I don't see it.
Y'all don't see it?
Yes, but you have to go back to Zoom to see it.
I see it.
That's there. I see it.
So, Mr. Porterfield, you got to go back to your Zoom application.
Yes, you're right. Mod 1 is from 9 to 9:45.
Yeah. So, this is my mod 1. It's Monday, the 31st is when we start. All right. Now, the key here, if you want to have it have one link for the whole school year, you're going to click reoccurring. All right. Now, obviously, we only have school weekly. So it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
If I want to change it every week.
If you want to change it every week, then you can do this for it to repeat for a week just like this. And then on Sunday, you will need to schedule a new meeting. You will need to delete this one and schedule a new meeting.
Your password, all of that will change now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should just have it do it weekly.
And the thing is, what you will set your end date. Well, I believe you will set your end date. We know we're going till June something. So I think like
do something, man.
Right?
Yeah.
The June date for June 18th. All right.
So if I schedule it recurring, that's the only link that they will be using.
For your mod 1, right? Yeah. I would even make my password mod 1, but they're not going to have to use a password anyway. But if they needed to, it'd be mod 1. Both their videos are on when they join. There's a waiting room. Audio, I put both just in case they need to call in or whatever. These different settings, you can't let them join before. That's already locked. They automatically come in mute. This is that only authentic users can join. So this is making them join with their PGCPS. That's your decision if you want to or not. Pre-signed breakout rooms. So this is what I was saying. You could, if you had all their emails, you can definitely, the way it works is you make a spreadsheet. I really don't want to, I can open it. Let me see. This is the template. It gives you a template and everything. So if you have all your kids' email, which, I mean, technically we do, it just will take a day to do it. You pre-assign a room, you leave those 2 things at the top. So if this is room 1, you put the child's email. And you keep room 1, child's email, until you have everybody in room 1 that you want. All right? Then room 2, you put their emails. However many rooms. Once you do this once, you only got to do it once. Once you do it, you will be able to then drag and drop it here, and you will have pre-made breakout rooms for your classes. Now, it's just a time-consuming thing. We do technically have all our kids' emails, so it is a very doable thing. It's just a matter if you want to do it or not.
Question.
Yes.
When we were in breakout rooms, did you have to do that for us?
No, I did not pre-assign the breakout rooms. And then you have a choice to automatically record your meetings. And then it says on the local cloud or on the computer or on the cloud. All that means is it's going to download to your computer or it's going to download to Zoom.
So let me check that, put a check mark by it automatically.
If you want to record every time this class happens, if you want to record every time, then yeah, you check it. If you want to record when you want to, then don't. And when you get in the meeting, you can just click record. Like the record button is always there.
Oh, yes.
So
I had a question. I'm sorry. Because I know we have to record our meetings, but we also have FERPA issues with children's names and faces.
Yeah.
Can we record just the host?
No. Once you record a video, whoever pops up is who pops up.
Okay.
Now, I mean, I don't know what the ruling is behind it. I know that the county wants us to record. So, you know, I don't.
Well,
I know if I'm being told to record, then in my eyes, I don't see how it will fall on the teacher when that's what we're being asked to do. But but even if you don't feel comfortable, I would say talk to the AP, your AP about it.
Okay. It was just more of a concern.
No,
because I don't.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Ms. Foreman, you see how right now Mr. Swain and my video is the only one showing? You can take that away so that literally when you're recording, all it is the share screen and it won't show people's video or face. Because I know for me, I used to do that and I would also turn off the kids, put them on mute so that nobody could talk. So like for me, I'm only going to record the part where I'm actually giving the instruction and turn it on and off. So it's like if someone needs to look at it, here's the part where I was recording, but nobody else is showing. It's just my screen and my face.
Yeah.
So you could also do that where it won't show anybody but you, or you could take the video away and it's one of those view options. Like click off of side by side and nothing will show but the screen. And so you won't have any of that.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear. It was just, I was concerned. I mean, like, I know we have to do it. We were told we have to do it, which is fine.
No, I know. And that's why I'm doing the share screen way so that no kids are showing and even my face is not showing.
Okay.
Even to help.
So, but you don't have to record the whole thing, right? You just have to record the instructional part, and then you can turn it off while they do the group work?
I'm only recording the instructional part.
Yeah, that's my understanding. And the big thing is you can pause recording. So just because you you can pause and start it back up.
Okay,
Not like
cool.
you got to just stop the recording. You can actually pause recording and start them back up.
So.
All right.
Cool. Thanks, Ms. Body. I appreciate your support, hon, because I was just, it was a worry.
Mr. Swain?
Yes.
You know, filling in this meeting thing, did they publish or do we have access to a class? I mean, the schedule, I mean, the times for the periods and all that?
I have heard that we should be getting it by the end of the day today. Only thing, like I said, I know first mod because I know mods are 45 minutes and I know we started.
Yeah.
So, but
Right.
I think we should be getting to the schedule. I know there was like that mock one you probably can find in the rolling agenda from last week if you want to finish up the rest of your classes. But like I said, I know the first one is from 9 to 9:45. And
Right.
so when you click save.
So can I ask a question about the co-teaching in the Zoom? I am a co-teacher. So does that mean my RELA teacher is the one that hosts the Zoom?
Yes.
I'm just the co-host. And then
I would say that it depends on the planning of y'all too. Like you can be the host of the meeting and also you can share hostship. So like at one point you can be the host. Like if they're doing the breakout rooms or something, they're setting something up and then you can give host rights back and like vice versa. But yeah, y'all both would only have one Zoom room. Y'all both don't need to have two. Like you might want to have one. It might be because you set up some polls, so you want to use your Zoom room because you set up polls. Also want to let everybody know it is after 1:30 and I know there's another training in 30 minutes. I'm going to stay on because I didn't finish everything. I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue to record. So if you do need to go, I completely understand.
Swain, the links. How do we get the links for the
Yeah,
Zoom?
that's what I was gonna show next. But as far as the co-teaching pairs, like that would definitely be. There's gonna be more than ever when it comes to planning with co-teachers. As far as like who's creating the link, when are we gonna set? Like, am I leading? Are you leading? Who's gonna be looking in the chat? It's called a back channeler. Who's gonna be the back channeler? All those little things, intricate things.
So all those changes were made. Let me click save.
Yes. So once you have clicked save, it looks like this, right? You can add it to your Google Calendar if you want to. Pretty cool. I mean, it just pops up on your phone or whatever else, letting you know you're about to have class all the time. It shows you how many occurrences there are. There's 50 of them between now and then. And that's without holidays and stuff. Right here is that link, right? So you could either if like I showed y'all my Bitmoji classroom. So I would be copying just this link, and that's what I'm gonna put in my Bitmoji classroom. This is gonna be the link for my which one was it? Was it this one?
When you go to schedule,
Where is our link gonna be? Where is our link?
Yeah, where's that at?
So when you click save, you should have saw this. Did you save your meeting setup?
Oh yeah.
I came back to look at your screen, so.
Sorry. So when you're on yours and you click save, this is what populates. It gives you the opportunity to add it to your calendars. It lets you know that you have a passcode and you also have waiting room, and then it's a link to the meeting.
So if I have my classroom and I have an icon in my classroom for this particular recurring meeting for Mod 2, then every day that they go in, if they forget the link, they go into Mod 2 to that icon, click, they're on.
Yep. So I just added.
Do anything else.
So that's my classes. My Mod 1, they click that, it's going to take them to Zoom every time.
A question before you go on.
Yeah.
And I put it in the chat, but nobody read it.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Miss Johnston.
When you're scheduling the times.
Yes.
Okay. My question is, do we schedule only the live session? Or do we include that independent practice because we may have kids who want to stay and ask questions in that independent practice time?
Well, just because you put 45 minutes doesn't mean it's going to end. As is 1:30, and I put until, as is 1:35, I put until 1:30, but the meeting didn't end. The meeting won't end until you click in. So even if you only put till 9:45, it's not going to end just because it's 9:46.
But it gives you an increment of 30 minutes.
Yeah, but so however long you put it, right? It won't end.
30 minutes.
Yeah, we have on, like Miss Stout, we have an unlimited account. So it's just not gonna cut you off. That's just so, like, if you put it in a calendar, you know how when someone schedules a meeting, it's gonna put it in a time block.
Yeah.
That's all that's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you end the meeting, you end the meeting. Period.
So you're suggesting that we only put the 45-minute live session, because that's basically what it is.
Yeah, that's what I would do is put the, because at the end of the day, you can stay on. Like, so it doesn't.
My question is, you have Mod 1 here. Now, what if I had 3 other mods? Do I just?
Then you make a new one. You're going to basically have 4 scheduled meetings.
I got
you. Yeah.
And you schedule it at the time.
Right.
So at this point, my meetings, I can see I got Mod 1 upcoming. So now I go and I schedule my next one.
I got you. Okay.
Which is going to be Mod 2.
Mr. Swain, just real quick, could you go through again how you put that link over there?
Yes, I can.
Swain, I'm leaving because I need a break.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I am too. Thanks.
All right.
I'm gonna stay with you.
No problem. So let me go back to my meeting. So this is my Mod 1 meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And you got your link, right? You copy it. If you already have your Bitmoji Classroom, or even if you just want to put it into Google Classroom.
Yeah, I put it into Google Classroom until I get the hang for Bitmoji Classroom.
I mean, the way they're setting this up now, this would be something really you probably should be putting in the Bitmoji Classroom, right?
Yes.
Yes, that is what it is, but I don't have the hang for Bitmoji yet.
So like, I
How
got
do you access your Bitmoji so quickly?
Huh?
How do you access your Bitmoji so quickly?
I don't know how to do it.
He's got it up there on a tab.
Yeah, I knew where it was, so I just went to it. So Rizzuti, what you do, you go to the words, and if you highlight them, it's two ways to do it. You can click insert and go to link, or you just right click and you go to link. And so it says my one room Zoom room link, and then you put the link in here. It started blank, and then I just pasted the link in there.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
No problem.
All right, Swain, I'm jumping in. I've been trying to change my name from teacher account to something identifiable as me since Thursday, you know, and I'm still, I look at profile and I don't see anything to change.
So that's even when you log in with your PGCPS, it pops up like that?
Yep. I think so. I think that's what I'm doing. I've never seen anything else. And I have been able to change, like in the spring, I could make a one-time change.
Yeah.
It would open and I would change it, you know, just back to Archer, Vernon Archer or whatever. And then it would go back to teacher account. And I could do that every time I logged on, which is slightly irritating, but at least I could do it.
Yeah.
I can see no way at all to do it now.
So on profile, if you go to edit, you can't edit and change your name.
Well, it has my name there correctly to begin with, but there's nothing different. I mean, it doesn't show me anything like that to change.
So it don't. So it says Vernon Archer up there, but it doesn't. But obviously, it don't say it when you join.
It doesn't say it.
Okay. That might be something that also to ask Mr. Johnson more about.
All right, I'll do it. Thank you.
Yep. The last thing I wanted to be able to show y'all, I know time is getting away from us, is how to do the polls. So everybody should get their meeting, how this is on here. And
where, Mr. Swan? Go back.
Meeting, you remember we saved the meeting? You see where you can get your link? You should be here. All right. So then when you scroll all the way at the bottom, as long as you have that polls turned on, it now says you have not created any polls yet. But when you click add, this is where you get to create your polls. And you can create more than one. So I named it that, and this is the poll I added. I got to put two things because it's a poll. So now I have a poll, but I can also add another poll.
Mr. Strong, I want you to just start back where we have to do the poll.
Yeah, so are you at this point, Mr. Bangor, where you can get the link to your meeting?
Yes.
So if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it says polls. It shows you how many polls you have.
Mr. Swain, can I ask you a question at this point?
Yes.
Going back to the hosting privileges, is it possible to have a joint co-host structured throughout the academic year? Because the way I generally teach within a co-teaching environment is I flow throughout the entire classroom. So I may have separate groups, but you would never know it because I'm flowing. But I was in the physical space. So can I do that with co-hosting established just as a standard throughout the year?
So, I think I understand what you mean. So look, I will show it like this. It's a lot less of us, so we can get a little bit more hands-on. I just made you a co-host. So now you probably got a little bit more flexibility. You can see a little bit more. So at the beginning of every meeting, Mr. Goddard or you, whoever hosts the meeting, y'all make the other co-host.
Okay.
Only things you can't do or he can't do. At the bottom, you don't see breakout rooms or polls, right?
Right.
Because you're only the co-host. But if I flip you, now you the host. So now you should see breakout rooms at the bottom. Only reason you might not is if you don't have that setting turned on. But do you see breakout rooms?
No, not now.
That's because you just didn't have the setting on in yours. But if you had the setting on in yours, you would see breakout rooms and you would be able to set up the breakout rooms. I'm not the host anymore. You would need to make me the co-host.
So this would have to be done manually every day and every mod.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
No problem.
So Swain, I'm going back to, I had the link and I copied the meeting invitation.
Uh-huh.
So how do I get that? I filled it in.
Uh-huh.
It said copy the meeting invitation. I clicked on it, turned blue, but I'm still stumped as to.
So once you click copy, it's already copied into your onto your copy. Like it is copied. Once you click, and you can just paste it. But the thing about the invitation, it's gonna have 101 extra things added to it. So it's cool if you're sending emails. I mean, it's even fine if you're just gonna put it straight in Google Classroom. If you're creating it to be able to go right into your Bitmoji Classroom, then you're only gonna want to copy that link. You're gonna want to just highlight the link and copy it.
Because that's what I did, and then this invitation popped up. Is from August the 31st through September the 6th.
Yeah, so if you're looking at my screen, that's the whole thing. It's like it's gonna give you everything extra. It's letting them know you're invited to this meeting every day at this time, and because we went all the way through June, that's why. But it couldn't write it all the way to June.
Right. The times, you couldn't set the times because the schedule here, and I'm talking about fourth mod. It's 12:50. All I could put in was 12:30. You can't.
Yeah. So that's the other thing is, it will be a little bit off, but they will have that link. So you as a teacher, you're gonna be joining, 2 minutes, 3 minutes early. So as long as you start the meeting, as long as they click the link, they'll be able to open it.
Now my thing is, because I need to put this link into a chart for RELA. I want to know how I can take this to put it in that chart.
So that's where, can you see my screen?
No. I went back to my stuff so that I could ask you this question to get the link. That's why I went back.
So if you get back to Zoom so you can see mine, I'll show you.
Okay.
Mr.
But it's saved, so I don't have to worry about that, right?
What did you say, Mr. Porterfield?
It's saved, so I don't have to worry about.
Yeah, it's saved.
I can't send it to myself. And
yeah.
Okay, that's white. My background is blue, so I need to get back to you. Where are you?
Excuse me, Mr. Swain. This is Tate.
Yep.
Is your link? Do we have to have a different link for each mod?
You don't have to. You can share the same one, but it's just you run the risk of a kid from.
Is this the link that we're supposed to use?
The one that's created that says invite link next to it.
So that's the link we're supposed to use?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ms. Porterfield, did you make it back to Zoom?
Mr. Ashran, can you if you just make copy invitation, is that enough?
If you put copy invitation, you won't be able to make it a link. Like this is for if you're going to email it to somebody, because all this information pops up. The link is in there. The link is right here, but it's hidden, and it's here again, but it's hidden through all this other stuff. Where it is, if you just right click this link, you can copy the link and then you can paste it wherever you want to.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mr. Swain.
Yeah.
So you said copy that link. So we already got that link in there, right?
Yeah, you got it, but you got to copy it to push it, like to put it somewhere else for the kids. Like to put it in your Bitmoji classroom or to put it in Google Classroom.
Because I work with Mr. Thomas, so he should have it, isn't that right?
Yeah, so you and Mr. Thomas will be making one. Like one of y'all will decide to be the host of the meeting.
Yeah, he's going to be the host. He's going to be the host.
So then you don't even have to make a link. He'll have a link. You will just make his link.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
No problem.
When you're done with Ms. Porterfield, I have to bring you back to these polls. Mr. Swain. I said, when you're done with Ms. Porterfield, you have to bring you back out to do the poll.
To do the poll, okay. Ms. Porterfield, did you, she is not in here no more. So I can show polls again, that's fine.
Okay.
Mr. Swain?
Yep.
Can you answer, I know you're doing this training, can you answer a Bitmoji linking question?
Yeah.
How do you enable the Bitmoji classroom? How do you connect to all the kids?
You're taking my position. I asked first.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you say?
Yeah, said he asked first.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Excuse me. Go ahead, Mr. Banger. Go ahead.
Yes.
Mr. Banger, are you at this page?
Yes.
You scroll to the bottom. It says you have not created any polls yet.
Oh, okay.
And all you do is you click add, and that's when you get to add your polls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
thank you.
No problem.
Rizzuti, you going?
What's that?
You going?
Am I going?
Yeah, like your question.
No, yeah. I just wanted to, I kind of struggled through creating that Bitmoji classroom and everything, and how do you make it so that all the kids can? How do you link it to all the students?
Oh, yeah. So you would just share, like how you share a document to other coworkers and stuff. You would just share this document. You wouldn't want them to be able to edit it. You would only want them to be able to view it. And you would just copy that link and paste it in Google Classroom.
Okay.
Like this link to my Bitmoji classroom where you have all your.
Mr. Swain.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks a lot for what you did. So I'm gonna get ready to get off and get ready for this next one.
Okay. No
okay.
Swain.
Yes.
That's what I was saying about the link. I had everything copied on that page, and then I came back. I got kicked out of the meeting, so I had to come to get to you again.
Okay.
I need to know
how to get this
how
link.
I can copy that link.
So you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
So if you right click it, boom, you just hit copy link. And then that's copied. So you can do that, or you can just highlight it. If you highlight it and then hit copy link. Or like,
and beside it said copy link.
Huh?
On the page it said, after the link, and then it said copy link. So I had hit that as well. Then I got a page that came up.
Uh-huh.
No.
But you didn't click this first, did you? Did you click copy invitation? Because then that brings this up. You don't want to do that. You want to just copy this link.
I did that first. I did.
You don't want to
I did the link.
You just want to copy this link.
So don't hit copy beside it.
Yeah, don't hit this.
That page came up.
Yeah, don't hit that, because that's going to bring this up. And you
yeah, that's what they. So I need just to go back and get this link.
Yeah, right. Click that link. Yep.
So I want to send that to myself because I have to put that in a chart. And I put my Bitmoji classroom in this chart.
Yeah.
I need to just put that link in to the class.
Yes. Yep.
So, okay, I go back and I right click and I copy that link. But how do I copy it to get it on that form is what I'm saying.
So once you copied it, then you can just paste. Like once I copied it, let me see, if I wanted it to go just right here underneath, like let's say this was the list, now I've pasted it and it stays there. You get what I'm
okay.
Understand?
But that's I gotta go back into my email and all that too.
Yeah, you gotta pull that other document up first.
Oh, okay.
And then, but you'll always be able to get to the link to the class. Like even when I leave out, like when I go to meetings, I'm trying to get to the link again. So when I sign into Zoom, this is what it's gonna look like now. I don't click edit or start. I just literally click the meeting. And when I click it, it brings me to this page.
Now, what's the other one? If I can pull it up. When I had fixed all this and it saved it, is it gonna be in my email now? I mean, the calendar?
Say it again.
My Google Calendar, you know, once I had the invite link and all.
Yeah.
It's going, isn't that gonna be on my calendar?
If you want it, you gotta click.
31st.
If you want it to be in your calendar, you gotta click add to calendar.
Okay, I did put that on there.
So as long as you click that and add it, then yeah.
Okay, I guess.
Mr. Swain. Mr.
Yep.
Swain. I'm sorry. One more quick question. Okay, I understand what you just told me. You copy and paste the link from the Bitmoji classroom. Where do you paste it to?
Your Google Classroom. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would I have to do that for each of the 4 classes?
If you're going to use a different link, yeah. Well, no. Well, either way, you gotta. Yeah, you will have to. But you can always, like with Google Classroom, you can make one post for all of them at once. See what I'm doing? Like when I go make a post, I can choose what classes I want to post it in. So it starts with just one, but then I can post it.
I got you. All right, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you.
So I think I have the link. Yeah. Let me go to this next meeting, but appreciate all your help.
No problem, and I'm gonna share this out.
Yeah, this has been great. Thanks a lot.
I'm glad I could.
Real quick, can you show me the Bitmoji class real quick?
Can I show you mine? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I ain't.
I want to see something real quick. Not the first one. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this down here or not. I don't know if I'm gonna. Cause I ain't gonna put no agenda in here. So.
So do you have any links on this one, or that's just like your welcome page?
That's just the welcome page, and then I start doing the links after.
All right. I might hit you up offline. I'm setting mine up now just to get some, some linkage guidance.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you, Swain.
It'll be during school hours. I ain't trying to hit you up at 8 o'clock at night. It'll be during school hours.
All right, that's cool. All right.
Wayne.
So
And I hate as Howard man that I need some help from a Morgan dude, but it's HBCU love there.
Yeah, Howard dudes get down. Y'all always need our help. So.
Yes.
Don't tell Chikaka I needed your help.
I'm gonna stop recording.
Yeah.